catch you with gloves off. And today we're going to be talking with City Councilman Alejandro Perez. And we're going to talk about what boxing, what martial arts has done to the youth, the new programs that are around, what is the youth programs for the summer of 2017, and also the future, and what he's done for our youth. Because I want to commend you. You have done dramatic change to the parks and city, and you're one of you're one of the ones,
Thank you.
And I've known many of the city council in the last 16 years on a personal basis, and there's very few that really cared about the children. There's some that cared about other things and businesses and stuff, but very few have cared, and you're one of the ones that outstands that.
Yeah,
And
yeah, thank you.
I want to thank you for that.
Yeah, but I mean, we've been working hard, as you know, man, we've been working on the parks. We just finished at Canizales gym about a year ago. I personally have 3 kids, and I know the importance of having good facilities, people and parents want to be in nice places, they want to be in the best places. So if you go, for example, let me give you an example. Slaughter Park, I'll give you several examples, but the first one, Slaughter Park, man, we're investing heavily in that. I made sure that the guys had all the machinery, the state-of-the-art machinery to make the field the best they can be. I made sure they had enough money to buy all the seeds that they needed. They're always, no, que nos falta esto, nos falta lo otro. We need this, we need that. I made sure that they had all that. I made sure that they had the personnel necessary to do all that. We just hired a new guy, JJ Gomez, which was in charge of the United or Alexander baseball team, and this guy knows how to make champions, man. So we're making sure that we hire the right people.
I know that you have world champion Orlando taking care of the gym. That's magnificent because you can have that type of talent. But we've also had a lot of great talent come out before because it's adjacent to that old firehouse boxing gym, the Canizales boxing gym, which is home to the Laredo Boxing Club, and that's excellent. Trying to get people that actually know what they're doing.
Yeah, yeah.
They excel in their fields, and implant them in there for them to get kids off the street.
I thought that was a really good investment of that money. I think we spent 1.3 million, but Orlando's actually come full circle. So he's an excellent role model for the kid. To say that he started boxing here and now it's his gym. You can see the pictures of him fighting, of him winning the championship. So that's very inspiring. Right now it's open. As you know, it's open from 6 to 3. So it's free right now. You can go and work out. You can take your kids, and you have a world champion that's gonna go teach your kids there, man. That's hard to find anywhere else. So we're investing heavily in that, and the soccer also. We have over 1,000 kids just in Slaughter Park alone. If you wanna join soccer, you can go and talk to Mr. Ledesma. That's over 1,000 kids we got going just in soccer.
And soccer was when we were growing up, there was no soccer.
No.
There was no soccer.
I'm not a big fan personally of soccer. I watch the Cowboys, and I'm still a Cowboys fan.
And when I went off to college, there was no soccer in Dallas. So I ended up joining lacrosse for a while. Because that was the only closest thing that you had. But what I'm saying is, soccer. I guess it was the World Cup that basically flipped soccer going up there, and also the influx of a lot of.
There's a lot of interest in soccer because now it's being filmed kind of like the Super Bowl and the NFL. It's that same format, so it's getting a lot of attention. I still don't get it. I didn't grow up with it. But it's so popular that if you think about it, you just get a ball and 40 people can play. As opposed to buying uniforms, buying all that stuff. So anybody can play soccer. But yeah, we're also big supporters of soccer there in Slaughter Park, and we're hoping on making a few more soccer fields before I leave. So yeah.
Now there's a lot of boxing clubs. I have one, and there's other clubs. But how many boxing facilities are there in the city?
Man, I'm not sure how many there's in the city.
No, but there are city parks and rec. In other words, that's a question. You got the Canizales gym.
We have the Canizales gym. You just mentioned one on Santa Maria.
On Santa Maria, Farias Rec Center.
As far as the city owned.
And there's one in the south, right? City owned. Parts of city.
One in the south. I'm not really sure, man. I'm just kind of familiar with the ones in my district, which is 2 or 3, But we do have a bunch of programs. We have let me tell you. As far as martial law for the summer, We have taekwondo. We have some karate. We have a model rocket camp. And but that's about all we have as far as the martial arts. We have not too much, but we do have that Laredo Boxing Club. It's open from 4 to 10, and that's also free. So
And so there's a lot of stuff that the kids can do,
yeah,
and especially in the summer. My main concern, and I've always, not only here, when I lived in the Metroplex in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, was trying to get kids off the street. Because once the kids hit the street and they have a lot of free time, you'll go, gangs, we have problems with gangs. You'll start vandalizing. There's a lot of little things that occur, and kids will be kids, and they can easily be swept off the wrong way. So we need those good models. We need those sports.
yeah, we need them in martial arts. We need them in baseball. Baseball seems to be a little bit more organized than the martial arts, but I would like to see that happen. As far as boxing, there people go to boxing, but they don't really stay, or some do, some don't. So it's not like being in a baseball team. At least I haven't seen that, but that's something that we definitely need to work on.
Well, and I've had a boxing club for many years, and as well as Savat, and what I've seen, you have to have a little bit of dedication. Which here in Laredo, they're dedicated to train and dedicated to the sport. But what I'm saying about dedication is hour restraints. Okay, from, for example, 4 to 5, 8-year-olds to 11-year-olds. That's when you come. And that's what you don't see here, that type of organizational skills that is needed, I think, and that will benefit in the future. You can't have kids that are 8, 10, 11 training with a 30-year-old man, in the same place. You can't have that. You have to separate all that stuff. There's a lot of little dangers that are going on.
Yeah, there is a lot of danger there on the street. Just like they say, there's a saying, I don't know, I read it somewhere. It's a golden triangle, from your house to the gym or to your organized sport, and then back to school, and it has to be those three things there.
That's
you know
exactly
what I mean?
right.
And but we gotta keep them intrigued and excited about it, man.
Councilman, what is your future plans during your term now to build for the youth now?
What we want to do is finish the Slaughter Park, and we want to make it into a world-class facility like Round Rock, man. We're having some big tournaments here that are bringing thousands of people, and
The World Pony League brought
yes,
one, the World
that
Cup.
one
What
is
is it?
bringing
The World-
millions of dollars to the city. And when these people come, they see the trails that we put. We have a little train there. We have this brand new fountain that's gonna open up pretty soon. It's a really cool fountain that shoots water up in the air about 8 feet, and it's tuned to music with color. So that is gonna be something special. We're almost done with the landscaping, so it's gonna be a state of the art a place
Facility that you're putting in.
yeah, that people could come, comparable to Round Rock, man. I mean, we're almost there. It's gonna be pitching mound. It's gonna be just a great place for people to come. Great fields, shade structures. I'm working on all that stuff.
Why do you say Round Rock? Is Round Rock is leading in Texas? Or what's going
Round
on?
Rock, as far as baseball, is like the mecca of Little League. You know what I mean?
Round Rock, Texas.
That's what everybody compares themselves to. So yeah, that's what we're shooting for, man. And we're investing money in that, man. I make sure I go there at least once a week, and I follow up with these projects.
Listen, and I commend you because you have been out there and you're caring for these
Yeah.
sports. You're out there. We've had other city councilmen that really haven't done diddly squat, and they're still sitting there. And some of them sat there, and some of them, who cares?
You have to be involved, man. I mean, it's really this job. It's community service. Basically, that's what it is. But you need to be involved, man. It's really, if
You
you
have
want
to
to
know
be
your area.
effective, you need to be involved full time. I mean, that's just the way it is, man. If not, your projects don't get done. They get put on the back burner, or if you contract stuff out, it's going to be very expensive. But if you follow and you keep track of your projects, like anything else, your personal projects, man. If you keep track of them, you're going to save a lot of money. You know what I mean? By hiring a local guy, or by just watching your money. It's real easy. Just okay, I'm going to give this contract to this guy. It's super expensive. It'll get done, but it'll be very expensive. So, I've stretched my money really far. Not my money, the district's money, very far.
And it shows. And you've all opened your hands for many projects that we've done under USA Savat and under Buitron Academy, and I thank you guys.
It's
for
all
that.
good, and that event that you had was very successful. I think it opened up a lot of people's eyes. That stick fighting is just something incredible that's not seen too much, man. It's just
And
It's
here
odd, but it's really awesome, man.
it's fencing and boxing put
Yeah.
together kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it's a different realm. You know, it's part of
It really
part
is.
of the Savat,
Yeah. And I've seen your studio, man. All the knives on the walls and all that stuff that you use. So that's I think it needs a little bit of advertising, but I know you'll get a lot of excitement and interest, man, if people find out exactly what you do. I mean, hear it and all that, but if you see it, I think it would
You
it
appreciate
would
the
create a lot
cultures
of
of it, yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
of interest.
and we've done that, and hopefully we can spread that throughout the city and try to get some kids involved in that.
Yeah, good.
Kids, women, and men as well.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
can help. We're here to help in any way we can, man.
Here's what I'm going to ask, and of all the sports, and each one you're trying to balance each one up, which is the one right now that we need to get up more to funnel kids in or funnel people in interest in? If baseball's doing great.
Baseball's
Soccer's
doing great. Soccer's doing good. I mean, there's so much interest in soccer that I'm having to go look for other fields, which hopefully I'll be able to get a few more fields done before I leave. In about a year and a half. But I'm working on that. After this, I'm going to go meet with the people on that. But boxing, we have the best facilities, man. We have that Canizales gym. I think we need to get
That's an
people
excellent place.
involved.
Farias is an excellent place. I've never seen the one in the south, the rec center in the south.
The Haynes Rec Center, gee, it's an amazing place.
But but there's no boxing there.
It's
There's not a boxing area there. There's nothing there
It's
for that.
just rec sports. There's not.
Right, and
In my opinion, it's not being used to its full capacity.
and it'll get there with people like you and people that are coming into the city that are like-minded. I
Yeah.
think you're going to see that. You need a change.
You know what? We have a new person at the helm there in Parks, and I think she's gonna do a really good job. So we're expecting great things from her, Selena Rivera. So yeah.
Okay. Here's something there. How about some of these old buildings that the city has bought? Can we convert them into little studios for different arts like boxing and make sure that's there, or like what they did with fire station?
We can do anything you put your mind to, man. You know what I mean? If you get enough people behind anything, it can be done. Like for example, the old Mercy Hospital, man. We're starting a master plan on that. So we're hoping to make that into a place where you can live, work, and play, and that means putting little gyms and putting little restaurants, things like that. But yeah, man, that's coming up real soon. So hopefully we'll have a little bit more to do, at least here in this area. But what was your question again?
Yeah, we can get some of the older buildings,
Oh.
some downtown,
Yeah.
some of the older buildings, and turn them into that. You have another project there in your area, that old beautiful house that was there on Chihuahua. Wasn't Chihuahua or?
That's gonna be an urban ag center. It's gonna be a place. It's gonna be modeled after. After the urban ag program in Austin. It's gonna be a place where you can go and learn how to plant your own garden. Basically, that's what it's gonna be. It's also gonna be restored to its grandeur. It's gonna be a centerpiece for the Heights area. It's gonna make a big difference here. And
Would it be used like the museum of the city, or
it's
what
gonna
else?
be, the center for the women. I forgot their name, and they're gonna get mad at me if I don't name them. The Women's City Club Hall of Fame. That's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be a place where we can also host dignitaries. It's gonna be restored. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be just a great place, and we'll have that grand opening pretty soon. But yeah, that's what that's gonna be. So it's all coming together, man, and we're working with the owner of the hospital to hopefully we do something with this area. We master plan it, and then once we master plan it, make sure that the neighbors know what they want, and then we go and find an investor to fit that area. So yeah, we're working hard, man. It's a lot of work, a lot of you get a lot of not too many thank yous. I'll put it that way.
No, well,
Nobody pats you on the back here, man.
Listen,
Aaron.
yeah.
But
And you've done a great job.
Yeah.
And you've done a great job in the field towards the youth, and you've overexcelled. Not only because you're here, but it's the truth. I can go down the list and I can tell you this councilman did diddly squat, and this one was the one that was in front of everything, front of holding the reins of the horse, and this other one couldn't care less, and we can go down the list.
yeah.
And I hope the other councilmen do the same.
Well,
And
yeah.
I hope they do the same. Hillside, that area, you had good care.
Yeah.
and now it's just kind of dead. You know, you have.
I tell you, you need to be directly involved, man. You need to be involved. You know, you need to be involved in what you're doing. You need to look after your projects. You need to make sure you're in tune with the people, man. You know, basically that's what it is. Um, so, yeah, man.
I see a lot of growth towards the north side, North Laredo.
A lot
See
of
a lot of
growth
changes. I
towards
see a
the
lot of
north
changes
side, yeah.
here, the north and the south, but nothing kind of centralized. You know, they're kind of been forgotten.
Laredo's growing like never before, man. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
like never before, and things are changing. And I think we have a good council right now. You know, I think we have a good interim city manager. I think
There's
I
something
think
to tell you about the interim city manager. We've worked with some projects in the past,
yeah,
and I remember one time we sat down and we talked because some kids were arrested for skateboarding.
Yeah.
Kids were, you know, the lady had a dance studio and the kids were on the sidewalk, and the policeman was her boyfriend. Drove up, and guess what? Handcuffed the kids, and one of them ran to my house, and we went over there, and we showed up, and Mr. De Leon, who's now the interim city manager, and we talked it over, and he said, you know, this, we brought the kids, and the kids said, hey, they had us all handcuffed. We went in front of the city council, and I remember City Councilman Joe Guerra was there at the time, Eliseo Valdez, and Louis Bruni, and they jumped up and they said, we need to build a park. Mr. De Leon, can you find us an area where we can build it? Hillside, and that skate park was built back then.
That's a
And I
pretty
want to
cool
thank you.
skate
That's
park,
it's a
yeah.
cool skate park. You had 3 councilmen that joined forces
yeah.
to eliminate that from ever happening again. And the police chief also jumped in at that time, Dovalina.
So,
So
yeah,
it's great. So that type of let's get things done
yeah, no, he's
is an A plus.
You know, he's getting things done. You know, he's a little bit overwhelmed right now, but I mean,
I
who
can
wouldn't
imagine.
be? Who wouldn't be? You know, but he's always helped me in my projects. I know he's gonna do a good job. You know, I know he's gonna do a good job, and
You know, I've seen him care for the kids, and I think he needs to let aside politics one side. Hey, you know what? Kids are more important. Who cares about all this other stuff? And let's get
yeah.
this done.
Yeah, you know how that goes. There's always politics and everything. In this business, there's, you know, politics and everything. And, you know, I had a little conversation with him. I told him, but be careful what you wish for, man, because now you got it, bro. And, you know, the average lifespan of a city manager is 3 to 5 years, man. It's not much more than that. So, that's kind of what he's looking at, you know. So
You know,
that's something to balance out if you're in his position. You know, do I want to stay assistant city manager or go for the city manager and kind of, you know, not be around in 4 or 5 years? You know, so that's, you know, it's a tough position.
And they've all done well to what their capacity has.
Yeah.
And I guess if once you let politics go in, all of
Yeah.
a sudden it just destroys that.
Every city manager that I've been associated with has done a good job.
Yeah, no, when I moved back, I'm from Laredo, and I lived out for 16 years, and I came back, and moved back in 2000. You had Flo. He was, let's push it, he got into it with one of the persons there, and guess
Yeah.
what, he got ousted.
Yeah.
Then Larry came in, and Larry did good stuff, and then he got ousted. Then you had Villarreal, and then back and forth. Villarreal came and went. Then you had Ralph Garcia, I think, was in there at one particular
Yeah.
time, and they've changed.
Carlos Villarreal lasted a long time for a city manager, 9
Yeah.
years. He did a good job, you know.
He did an excellent job.
While
And a
he
lot
was
of people
here.
might say this and that,
Oh,
whatever. Yeah, but that's screw
part,
it,
that's
you
part
know.
of it. People are always gonna.
Yeah,
say
people are always
things,
going to
man,
bitch.
you know,
But what happens is when you're doing a good job, people are going to either hate you or love you.
Well, when you win an election, man, you know you win by 51% or more, so that means 49% people don't like you. So, you know, you have 100 people in the room, 49 are not going to like you. So that's kind of
That's just
what
the way
we
it
do.
is.
Yeah,
But, you know,
anything
there's
you do, you're going to get people throwing rocks at you. As long as you know you're doing the right thing, you know that's what matters. You're listening to the people and you're doing the best that you can, man. I mean, that's really all you can do. Move forward, and you know.
So how much longer do you have for your
We
turn to
have
be up?
till next November. What is it? Maybe 17 months, 18 months, something like that.
And what's your main thing that you
I don't
want
like
to
to
get
say
out?
a year and a half. That sounds like a long time, but you know, it sounds more realistic when you say 18 months. Shit. I mean, I got to get my things done. You know what I started. You know, and if you don't.
What are you trying to
push
finish
it-
now?
We have that the hospital. I really want to put that on track. I know I more than likely will not see anything happen, or I don't think I will. But I want to plant the seed and get this master plan done. Make sure
And
that
what is it?
what
What?
the master plan. I mean, that's going to be kind of in the way of the city master plan. It's just called a charrette. You get all the neighborhoods together, or and then what happens? These people have a meeting. You have 3 meetings in 3 days. So these people, you ask them, okay, so what do you want to see in the hospital? And they all get together. You get a consensus. You write it on boards, kind of like the master plan. I don't know if you're involved in it. So at the end, you get a consensus of the people around the neighborhood of what they want. They get a plan going. They get the main avenues like Meadow, Malinche, Bartlett, and you ask them what they want to see, and then you change the zoning according to what they want. If you don't want commercial in this area, but let's change the zoning to this. You plant bike lanes, you plant things like that. So what you want to do, what my focus is the old hospital area. You plan it, and then you find an investor to fit that plan instead of the other way where the owner would sell it to somebody and then the people would have to adapt to a jail or a detention facility or whatever. So it just makes sense, man. It really does make sense.
Are they going to knock it down, or are they going to rebuild
You know
it?
what?
What's-
Me personally, I would love to see it knocked down and make a park, but that's just me, and I doubt that can happen. It doesn't make financial sense doing that right now. But we're exploring the possibilities, man. Right now, I just got a text. We're gonna go visit an investor that wants to partner with the city in San Antonio, which has nothing to do with the owner. So we're looking at all sorts of ways, man. We're looking at all sorts of ways. We're talking to the owner. I'm gonna meet with the owner, and he's involved too. I mean, he has to be involved.
Of course, he's the owner.
But he's open to all this. He knows that this is gonna be his legacy. He can't sell it to anybody that's gonna make a mess here. You know what I mean? So he's conscious of that fact, and we're all grateful for that. So we're working, man. We're working on this, and hopefully before I leave, I can at least set something in place where it's going to be the best thing for the neighborhood, as opposed to just letting it go and him sending it to whoever for whatever.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful. And hopefully that'll get done, and you might not see it get done.
Yeah.
Well, you'll see it get done, but you
Yeah.
will not be a councilman when you be.
Yeah, I can go on and on about my projects, man. I have a lot of stuff going on. We're putting a little techito here in the basketball court in San Agustin. We're expanding the soft track. We're getting some new soccer courts. We're doing a park in the south side. It's going to be a 20-acre park. It's going to be a nature preserve, and it's going to be adopted by the Rio Grande International Study Center. That's going to be one of my projects. That's a really cool project. It's really a natural area in its natural state. It's beautiful, man. It's on a hill. It's going to be focused for birding, for nature. It's going to be a place where we can take the kids. It's going to be really cool. And I got to show you a picture of the bat bridge. We just put I just ordered a bat sign that's going to be the entrance to the bat bridge. 7-foot high bat, 13-foot wide. Man, the kids are gonna love it, man. It's gonna attract a lot of attention. But I have to show you the picture before I leave, man. And yeah, we're working, man. We're just gonna put in this some utility lines. As a matter of fact, right here in front of the street. And that's been, man, 5 years in the making. Utility lines, because it's not something that you see and it's great and all that, but
It's needed.
it's needed. Man, we have 7 breaks here in a day. My suegro's going to my house to take a bath. The pressure turns off. All kinds of
Well, it's just,
wrong.
people might not know, but that might be listening in there. But you represent an old section of Laredo that has been always alive and prosperous, and that section has always had people living in it. It hasn't died down. In other words, so it's always been moving, and some of that pipes and some of that infrastructure is at least
Oh man, yeah.
75 years old.
Yeah, at least.
That's pretty cool. I don't know if we can show it up there, but that's awesome.
7-foot high, 13-foot wide. So imagine you're driving into this park. That's gonna scare the kids, man. Huh? I don't know if you can see it, but isn't that cool? And we got that you know, compared to all these monuments that we're doing, which I wasn't there to vote on it, and I would have voted no, the $1 million there before the bridge, which I think is too much money. This was $15,000, man. I mean, we could make 100 of these, you know, as
For
compared
one monument.
for one monument that we're doing down there. But anyway,
I
I wasn't for that. For the
talking
record.
about monuments, hopefully
Yeah.
they don't start taking down Confederate flags here and all that crap. You know,
Yeah,
and
that's a
the
whole
old
other
monument
issue.
because, hey, believe us, you know, Laredo is, we're in the state of 6 flags, but here we have 7 flags. So here the Confederate flag flew, you know, and
Yeah, it did.
and my family was part of that, and many our families were there, and I'm sorry, but that is our heritage, you know, and
Yeah.
people can take it whichever way they want it. But you know, I think the Confederate flag, both the St. Andrew's Cross as well as the non-battle flag, should be flown here in Laredo.
Yeah, that's a whole other subject.
You know,
man.
you got people now trying to tear down Sam Houston Monument in Houston. I mean,
saw
that's a
that.
bunch of bullshit.
I saw it. Yeah, it's a whole other
Yeah.
story, a whole other subject. Yeah.
But again, thank you again for
No.
enlightening us what you've done, and it shows.
Oh, I
And
mean,
thank you.
I can go on about all the stuff we're doing, but yeah, that just is hitting the tip, man. But yeah, I mean, after this, I gotta, you know, we're working, man. You know, 17 months sounds like a lot, a year and a half, but man, and
There's a bunch to do.
especially in government time, man, you know, the wheels turn very slowly.
Well, I want to
All right.
thank you
Paul,
again.
Thank you, man.
Until next
Appreciate it.
time, catch you on and gloves off.